will.
Kurt Cam leads the Patriots in 9 rushing touchdowns. Will he have at least one today?
Yes, he will.
Michael, Justin Jefferson leads all rookies with 85 receiving yards per game. What about today?
Yes, and Kurt, you're too slow. You got to hurry up. Let's go. Hurry up, offense. But we got it all in.
Wow.
Okay, we got it
Sorry,
all.
Kurt, that's what he told Troy a lot.
Hi, Rich. In that win, the Raiders proved how explosive their offense can be, beating the Chiefs at their own game. As Chiefs defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo described it, about 214 of the Raiders' 490 yards that day came on just 9 plays. He said Derek Carr was one step ahead of him all game long. Linebacker Anthony Hitchens told me he takes some responsibility for that too and has been given the green light to check the Chiefs defense out of plays that could help keep the Raiders receivers from getting behind the Chiefs defense, because as Tyrann Mathieu described Henry Ruggs' speed, if he's even, he's leaving. That said, Michael Irvin, can the Raiders offense keep up again with the Chiefs offense tonight?
Man, you're talking about the Raiders offense, and I think it drops down to one person in that offense. If you did a silhouette where we put those numbers up, and then we have a silhouette and said which quarterback is which out of these games, it looked like Derek Carr's numbers was Patrick Mahomes' numbers, and Patrick Mahomes' numbers belong to Derek Carr. So Derek Carr out Patrick Mahomes last time. You heard about that bus ride around the stadium. Trust me, this will not happen again when Derek Carr will out Patrick Mahomes. Derek Carr had 126 passer rating. Patrick Mahomes had an 84 passer rating. Expect those to flip. Now, let's flip this camera out to Indiana with Stacey Dales.
Well, Irv, bring your lunch pails today because we're in store for a good one. The #1 total defense with the Colts against the #6 total offense with the Packers, and a quarterback in Aaron Rodgers who happens to lead the NFL with a roughly 116 passer rating. Rodgers said of this Colts defense this week, they are a great vision defense, great vision of the quarterback. They play with good timing. They make you earn it, and they make you go the distance. His head coach, Matt LaFleur, said we must, critical, vital to have positive plays, no wasted time, no hesitation, maximize every single play, get as many yards as you can because they're hard to come by. I expect this Packers offense to attack. And as for the Colts defensively, Justin Houston, Mooch, said the biggest challenge with Aaron Rodgers is staying disciplined. He is truly a coach out there on the field. For more on the matchup, Mooch, I pass it to you.
Yeah, stay disciplined. Against Aaron Rodgers, he's the leading passer-rated quarterback in the league and against the #1 defense. But that Colts defense is good against the run. They're good against the pass. They're good in scoring defense, top 4 in all of those. So they're going to slow down these Packers. It's just going to be what kind of game that this ends up. It will not be a high-scoring game. I like the personnel on this Colts defense. Man, what a trade. DeForest Buckner was a huge get. He's got 16 hits on the quarterbacks. And Darius Leonard is certainly one of the best linebackers in this National Football League. The thing I'm going to watch, Xavier Rhodes. He played against Devontae Adams many times when he was with the Vikings against the Packers. See if he travels with him. It's going to be a heck of a game today against 2 real good football teams. And now let me send it over to Cynthia Freeland for Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS.
Well, the Colts may have the #1 passer-rated defense, but look at all of the areas that the Steelers defense ranks first in. Pressure percentage, sack percentage, and completion over expected. This is like a golf score. The more negative, the better. Their high-risk, high-reward defense is really paying off. So let's ask Kurt Warner what he expects to see today from them. Kurt?
Well, Cynthia, one of our former game day teammates in Warren Sapp used to say, show me a great defense and I'll show you a defense where the back end and the front end work together. And that, to me, is exactly what I see with the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of love to the front end, but it really starts on the back end. You see Minkah Fitzpatrick right here. He's going to come and steal this little quick slant. He's going to make the quarterback hold the football. That's what they want you to do. Hesitate as a quarterback, and then you're lost because we are so good up front with our twists and our pass rushers. You're going to see it once again here. I'm going to try to get it to the outside guy. Nope. We're going to jump with leverage. We're going to play well. We're going to understand what we're seeing. Once again, quarterback hold the football a half a second longer than he wants to. We get another twist going, and we get pressure on the quarterback. We get a sack. So what I see from this Steelers defense is not just a front seven that can get after the passer. It's a back end that works with that front end to make that pressure rate so high.
and a really good pressure rate, that's a really great predictor for the playoffs because obviously if you ever have to come back from a deficit, you can't let them pass against you. Rich, what's next?
All right, well, what's next is hurry-up offense. I can't overstate this enough that the information you find out will not underwhelm you. Yeah, and both teams enter this game with sour tastes in their mouths. Obviously, the Ravens from last year, but also from the last 3 weeks. And the Titans come in this game having lost 3 of 4. And the Ravens, once again, one of the first moves made of the entire offseason was getting Calais Campbell to come in for games exactly like this one to stop running backs exactly like Derrick Henry, but Luch Irvart, is out.
Yeah, you know, both of these teams are 6-3, but lately not playing their best football, Irvin. And let's talk about their recent struggles and what we're concerned about, because when I look at the Ravens, it seems to me, you know, we know they're a great rushing team. They've led the league in rushing last year. This year, they're great. But Lamar Jackson is their leading rusher as the quarterback. I don't necessarily like that. I want this running back group to be more productive. Last year, this stable of running backs, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, Mark Ingram, they were the #1 running back group in the league. They've dropped to 11th. I think this running back group needs to give Lamar and the Ravens a little more production out of the backfield. Mike, what say you?
Yeah, Coach, I agree from the standpoint, if we're measuring, when we look at which team recent struggles concerns me the most, when we're measuring where we expected these teams to be, because I thought Baltimore was going to make that jump and be really, fighting for a Super Bowl, but they're starting to struggle. Tennessee, I knew had some funny stuff to it, because if they win by running the football, Coach, playing great defense, and not turning the ball over. And you just heard those things aren't working, then all the pressure falls on Ryan Tannehill. And since Taylor Lewan went out in week 6, weeks 1 to 6, Ryan Tannehill had a completion percentage of about 75. Weeks 7 to 10, that drops all the way to 55. Now, that's how important one tackle is. Let me just tell everybody, my Dallas Cowboys have lost both tackles. I didn't mean to get that in there, but Champ, I'm just trying to help us out and reach across the place, across this country, and just kumbaya each other, Champ. The Cowboys lost all their linemen, and Tennessee struggling with just one out, so it tells you how important those fat 300-pounders are.
Yeah, well, that tells you how important that run game is, because we need a little more Derrick Henry and a little bit more Mark Ingram, huh? All right, Rich, back to you.
Thank you very much.
Surprise. I was really surprised by this, and really because of the nature of how they play offense in New Orleans. We all know about Drew Brees and how he dissects defenses and about reading the entire field, getting the ball out of his hands, making those quick decisions. So when you look at Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, you say to yourself, well, Jameis is the guy that really fits that mold or fits this offense better than Taysom Hill. And, so it's going to be interesting. And the big question is, what will this offense look like? James was just talking about it. Will it look like the Drew Brees offense? Or does Sean Payton believe we can overhaul this offense and make it more of what we see from Taysom Hill on a weekly basis and more of a run style with play action and the gadgets that Michael was talking about? So I was very surprised they went with this decision. I'm interested to see if it is a full-time decision or Jameis finds his way into the lineup here and there depending on situations. But excited to see Taysom Hill. They went out and signed him to that 2-year, $21 million extension for this purpose because they believed he could be a starter.
Meanwhile, over in the AFC, the Ravens and Titans. Last time we saw these two, the Titans one and done. The Ravens as a 1 seed, which they were for the first time ever in their franchise history. Now, today, the rematch is the Titans maybe knocking the Ravens out of the wild card picture and swapping